Social networking and the dangers to children have been making headlines recently, and later today the Home Secretary Alan Johnson will hold talks with Facebook in particular about its refusal to sign up to an online safety scheme. He wants a website to install a panic button for children to report threatening behaviour, but Facebook says it already has procedures in place. Emma Pine has this.
Convicted sex offender Peter Chapman used a false identity to befriend 17-year-old Ashley Hall on Facebook to then kidnap, rape and murder her. Since his conviction, there have been calls for the social networking site to install a panic button, which links directly to the Child Exploitation and Online Protection Centre. Other sites like Bebo and MSN already have the button, so if you're online and uncomfortable about someone you're talking to, all you have to do is click on it and you can report them directly to the police.
I simply don't understand why Facebook aren't grabbing this with both hands. It's free, it works, it makes their wonderful environment safer.
The Child Protection Agency is receiving 500 reports each month. 4 of those a day are cases where a child is in immediate danger. But Facebook aren't keen. They say that safety of their users is their top priority, though, and that they have reporting buttons on every page of their site, and they continue to invest heavily in creating the most robust reporting system.
Well, we're joined now by technology expert Kate Russell. What's Facebook's problem? Why won't they do this?
Well, it's difficult to tell, really. It's early days. They probably will end up getting pressurised into it if it works for other social networking sites that have done it. But they maintain, you know, their point is we've got all of the security that we need in place. Protection and privacy of our users is of utmost important, and there is a 24/7 helpline in all of the countries available. So, you know, they're saying our house is already in order, but they're also saying that they're interested to see how this works with other social networking sites. So we may yet see some movement from them.
And in fairness then, we should point out they're not the only ones who haven't yet installed this panic.
Of course.
On the other hand, despite their assurances about the procedures they have in order, and no reason to doubt they work very well, no one can guarantee 100% safety, can they? And therefore, every little helps, one could argue.
Well, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. You know, every measure that you can take, it's more about education, I think. You know, I mean, our children can get hurt crossing the road. We don't stop them crossing the road. What we do is we teach them the Green Cross Code. We teach them how to protect themselves. And it's the same with the internet. It needs to be a dialogue.
Yeah. Let's have some advice then for parents, because, you know, people are understandably very worried by the headlines they read from time to time, not least the one recently about the young poor child that was murdered following this kind of encounter.
Absolutely.
What's your advice?
Well, there are several steps that you can take as a parent at home, and they're free as well, so it's not going to cost you anything. First of all, parental control software. There's a couple of different options available, a couple of free options available to basically allow you to specify how much time, what they can do, what applications that they can use. So you can actually get those kind of pieces of software downloaded from the internet. If we talk then about teenagers, you know, perhaps you don't want to make them feel like they're being controlled, but you want to perhaps keep an eye on what they're actually doing. You can get pieces of software called keyloggers, which will basically record everything that happens on the keyboard, so that you can go and check what exactly they've been typing.
I'm sorry to hurry you, but just briefly the other two.
And then after that, we've obviously got these websites which are content providers, which has already been pre-approved. KidsClick is a great one, it's by librarians. And then, of course, you can set up your own account, user account, and put a control bar, a parental control bar in, which will filter and limit the sites that they can watch.
Good advice. Thank you very much indeed, Kate. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Lots more advice on keeping your children safe online on our website, gm.tv.
We're joined now by technology expert Kate Russell. So looking at the Facebook situation in particular for a moment, they say they've got this reporting button.
Yes.
Why is it thought that the panic button is better?
Well, first of all, it's very big and very obvious, and I think, you know, particularly younger children might not necessarily know what reporting is. What am I supposed to report? It sounds a bit like a school thing, doesn't it? Whereas panic button, it's really obvious. It's, I'm in a panic, I press this. It goes through to the UK police organisation, CEOP, who set this up. So it's not handled internally, and Facebook's reporting process is handled internally, which, you know, they've got trained professionals, they're there 24/7, but, you know, it's a different kind of reporting process. I think they want to keep their business inside their own house.
Yes, I can see that. I can see that why there would be arguments for and against on that. A panic button then is the first stage. We know that Alan Johnson, Home Secretary, is meeting to talk with them about that. But I worry that it's perhaps half the problem, because, you know, if you're a youngster who's slightly alarmed by the content they're having, then yes, press a panic button. But as we know, terribly sadly, many youngsters are not alarmed. They don't spot a problem.
Absolutely.
And they get lured into things. So what can be done to prevent that?
It's about a dialogue, you know, and it's about creating a dialogue from a very young age. You know, we teach kids how to cross the road safely because we know it's dangerous for them not to. And that happens, you know, when they're very small children, and we need to start doing that with the internet as well, and actually making them aware of the things. As parents, we can take certain control.
Right, so are there technical ways that you can also...
Absolutely.
Okay,
there's a couple of pieces of software you can download. K9 Web Protection and SafeFamilies.org both have free software which will allow you to control the amount of time, what they do, where they do it on your computer. So there's parental control software. If you're talking about an older teen, you don't want to maybe control them, but you perhaps want to know what they're doing online, you can get keylogger software, which basically will record the activity on a keyboard so that you can see, you know, exactly what they've been saying and who to. And again, there are a couple of free examples. I think we've got URLs to go up on screen for those. Okay. Actual keylogger and refog are two good examples.
Right.
And then, of course, there's content websites, which are contained environments on the internet. So you go to that URL. Kidsclick.org is a great one. It's made by librarians, and it will only take them to content which has been pre-screened and approved by human beings to be age appropriate.
Well, see, that's great. I mean, and I think that will make parents feel more empowered to handle the situation. If you could pick one thing that you'd like the Home Secretary to achieve, or you'd like the government to do generally, what would it be to protect youngsters?
I think it would be to actually encourage parents and children to learn about the internet together from an early age, so that the parents aren't afraid of the technology, they're more aware of what's going on online, and the children, you know, it becomes more of an open dialogue and it's not this big divide.
No, good point. OK, well, if you are one of those people that wants to get more involved, lots more advice on keeping your children safe online on our website, gm.tv. All the details of what she was saying, they're all on the website. Thanks very much indeed, Kate.
Thank you.
Thank you.